Hi there, Food Forest Plants once again. Today we're going to experiment. Recently I was asked by a customer, and what do you do with plantain? Plantain is such a common plant and I got really embarrassed and had to say nothing. I'm not doing anything with plantain. So therefore I want to experiment with plantain today. There are many different kinds of plantain. The most common one is the plantago major. It is the broadleaf plantain and the ripboard plantain. I forgot the Latin name. But all the plantains, I think they're somehow useful. The strain of plantain I have got in this garden was planted original from seeds imported from the United States, which is called giant Turkish. It's a very nice plant. It has very big leaves and it is either red or green. But I believe after many years growing it, it's already crossed with the normal broadleaf plantain. If you don't have plantain and you start foraging for plantain, please make sure that the side where you forage wasn't sprayed on, because many of the weeds like plantain grow exactly where the councils are spraying. So today I'm making gluten-free bread. I usually make gluten-free bread for my husband who is gluten intolerant, and the shop-bought gluten-free bread tastes disgusting and has a bunch of stuff in which is not very good for you. So there are two major ways to make gluten-free bread I am aware of. There are probably more. Number one is putting eggs in the bread, which replaces the gluten because it's sticky gluten. The other method is using psyllium husk. It's a sort of plantain, one of the plantains. What I want to try out today is to replace the commercial psyllium husk with what is growing in my garden, psyllium husk here, and I will make a portion of that bread with the normal psyllium husk and the other portion with the plantain. So, and I want to see how that goes, whether the normal plantain husk will replace my psyllium husk. Commercial psyllium husk is made up of two species of plantago. One is Isfahaga or something like that, and the other one is ovata. And this one is an annual, and if you're gluten-free, it might be worth growing it or give it a try. Commercial psyllium husk is the husk only. The seeds are processed separately and sold separately. So what I got out of my garden here is the whole product. I added a bit more, which I harvested earlier actually. That's actually a lot of broadleaf plantain psyllium husk, much more than I usually take, but I don't know whether it has the same ability to glue together, so I'll take it all. So gluten-free bread is the easiest bread to make because I just mix the dry ingredients in a bowl and then add the water. There is no need to knead the bread because it wouldn't do anything because there is no gluten. So after mixing the dry ingredients together with the yeast, sorry I don't have sourdough as of yet, I will split it in two parts, and one part I do with the normal psyllium husk and the other part I'll do with the garden variety. So I'll add some normal oats in there. Oats is not strictly gluten-free, but my husband can actually have oats, so that's not a problem. So I have sorghum flour here. I mix some sorghum flour in. You get these types of flours at the Indian shop. This is chickpea flour. Chickpea flour contains protein, and protein is sticky. I have also pea flour. Pea flour does the same than chickpea flour, so I put a little bit in also. And here I have unroasted urit flour. You can also add rice. You can add, very good is if you add buckwheat. Buckwheat is really very nice to add. Rice, buckwheat, I don't have that at the moment. Leftover porridge, for example. I now grind up some moong dal, whatever that is, in my corner mill. Now I'm stirring everything very thoroughly together, because that's most the stirring it gets. And then I'll part it in two parts. One gets my psyllium husk, the commercial one, and the other one my garden product. Now once again mix the dry mixture through very thoroughly. And the dough is usually much thinner than in normal bread, and with the psyllium husk it should actually thicken up in a couple of minutes or half an hour. I hope it does so. So maybe it's also a bit thin what I'm doing here, but usually it thickens up in no time at all. So let's rest them for 8 hours and see how it goes.
More crumbly, I think, this one without psyllium.
The bread with the garden psyllium tasted nicer than the other one, much more nutty, but was more crumbly. In the end, I believe that my whole experiment was possibly flawed. I ran out of lots of the usual flours I use and added all flours which contain protein. My guess is that it would have worked out even without the psyllium or the plantain husks. The fact that the bread with the plantain husks was more crumbly tells me that it does not work as a psyllium replacement. At the moment I can't bake more. The freezer is full. I will try another batch with less protein flours later. I hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the next episode.